In today's video, I'm going to talk about the DJI RS3 Pro and why I believe it is the best gimbal for real estate videography. Now, I don't really have a one favorite thing about this gimbal. It's really just a culmination of a lot of really good things that make this such an incredible piece of equipment. Let's start off with the stabilization. Obviously, the main purpose of a gimbal is the stabilization and its ability to produce smooth footage. And it is safe to say that this thing has phenomenal stabilization. Stabilization is a key factor. It's very important for me in the way that I create my real estate videos. And the RS3 Pro allows me to get that buttery smooth footage for my speed ramps. I will say though, if your ninja walk kind of sucks, this gimbal is not going to fix your problems. You still have to nail your technique on the shoot and how you shoot and how you hold the gimbal. But the RS3 Pro will help with kind of refining out those minor imperfections you may have. Just make sure that you calibrate the gimbal or run the auto tune before you start shooting. Otherwise, you can get micro jitters in your footage, and we don't want that. So if you calibrate it, you balance it properly, your footage should be fine. Actually, it'll be more than fine. It'll be nice and smooth, perfectly smooth, hopefully. The next thing that I love about this gimbal is the customization features in the settings and being able to fine tune to exactly what I need. I'll put my settings up on the screen here, but this is what I have mine set to in order to get the smoothest footage possible. On the PF mode or pan follow mode, I have my smoothness set to 5, my deadband set to high, the max speed on slow, and the smoothness set to high. I also usually opt for using the joystick for any sort of tilting shots, and I like that I have the ability to customize those settings as well. My joystick settings are set to slow speed and high smoothness. I also want to mention how good the battery life is on this. I think I use about 20 to 25% per shoot, which means I can do multiple shoots in a day and not have to worry. In fact, I usually don't ever do more than 2 shoots in a day, which means a single charge on this battery is actually going to be more than enough for me. Another feature that I really like that isn't necessarily new to gimbals, but I love it nonetheless, and that is the locking motors. That is super clutch. I upgraded from the original DJI Ronin S, and that did not have locking motors. So this having locking motors, automated locking motors as well, kind of just blew my mind. Being able to just lock up the motors, carry the gimbal around freehand, camera still attached, and then just boot them back up whenever I need. Oh, so clutch. It's, to be honest, one of my favorite underrated features. Now, I shoot a lot of vertical content these days, and so my favorite accessory for this gimbal has been the DJI Ronin vertical mount. It is super clutch because now it really only takes me about a minute to switch from horizontal to vertical shooting and vice versa. And a secondary reason that I love this mount is that I don't need to use a cage or an L bracket for vertical shooting. I can mount my camera on the gimbal vertically and still have access to both the mic ports and the SD card slots. Now, personally, I'm not a big fan of the handle that comes with it, the sling handle or briefcase handle, whatever it's called. I just couldn't get my footage to be nearly as smooth when, I'm got it set up like this. I couldn't get my footage to be nearly as smooth as when I had just both my hands on the main part of the gimbal, like no handles. And so because of that, I do tend to get some forearm fatigue, but I can put down the gimbal, take a break, pick it back up again, but I don't really like to use the handle. That's just not a feature that really has worked for me. My whole approach to shooting real estate videos is to keep it as simple as possible, and the RS3 Pro allows me to do that. There's nothing fancy or complicated about it, which I really appreciate in my workflow. I also want to say I am aware of the RS4 line gimbals, but I haven't actually used any of those. So I can't make a comparison between the RS3 Pro and the RS4 line gimbals. This is just my opinions based on my experience using the RS3 Pro for the past year and a half. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. And if you want to know exactly how to create the smooth speed ramp, you can watch this video right here. With that all said, I will see you in the next one. Peace.